What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Alex and Things podcast. I'm your host, Alex Wing. And as y'all know, we are on episode 5 of the pod today. Really appreciate y'all, man. Everybody that's been showing support to the pod, listening, letting me know what they think about it. All of that has meant so much and is, why I'm still creating today and where I'm just trying to find and foster different ideas to contribute to the pod. Like y'all just heard, we're on episode 5 today. 5. And there's our second visual. And as y'all, if y'all are watching it visually, y'all can see I got another two guests with me here today. These two guys right here, these are my guys, man. Known them for so long. And the topic for today's conversation, these are the two guys solely responsible for my obsession, my newfound love, my just genuine appreciation for what we're about to talk about today. So we're talking about One Piece, chapter 1000, and the story in general. These are my two guys right here, Artenis Shabiu and Akorede Olayiwola. My guys, say what's up to the pod, y'all.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all taking time today to join the pod, man. So I hope everybody's been taking care, staying safe for the holidays, just doing everything you got to do to get by as we prepare for another calendar flip. Even though I remember the start of this year like it was just yesterday. It's crazy. But yeah, y'all know I usually love to start off the pod with stuff that's on my mind that's taking place in the real world. But honestly, outside of everybody just being safe and continuing to do everything they need to do to protect themselves, protect other people, outside of that, I'm not really full on thoughts right now, except doing this episode because we've been foreshadowing this episode for a very long time.
Yeah,
And we just had to get to it at this point, even though some unfortunate events have occurred with the timing of this episode and the timing of chapter releases in the show. Nonetheless, I still wanted to get this episode out there. So, again, much love to y'all. Much love to my guys that are joining me on the pod today. I don't really got much else to say. So let's get right into it, y'all. So, we're going to be dividing this conversation into 3 parts. The first part will be all of us reflecting on what the show means to us, how the show has continued to inspire us, and continue to provide meaningfulness to us, even after 900 plus episodes, now 1,000 chapters, and just 20 plus years of consistent greatness and just more and more reasons to love the show and love the manga. So um, I wanted to start off by talking about what the show means to us, what the manga means to us, why it's significant to us, why it continues to inspire us to read and watch, and why some people they still sleep on it because people always sleeping on stuff and they still sleep on this show. So we're gonna get into that just a little bit because it don't really mean much because people they love One Piece and we just trying to spread the culture. Y'all know what it is. And
facts.
then for the next 2 parts, we're going to talk about the most recent chapter, chapter 999, and just share a little bit of our thoughts on that, the significance of that, what we thought about what happened, and all that good stuff. And then for the third part, we're going to reflect on what we think is going to happen for the rest of the current arc, which is currently the Wano arc, where the Straw Hats, a whole bunch of other pirates, a lot of strong pirates, everybody's just going at it right now. There are a lot of events that fans are waiting for, fans are thinking about, and we're going to try and bring that to y'all with our own perspective and our own insight. So, um, yeah, y'all, from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of everybody that watches my podcast heart, I love y'all, man. Let's get right to this episode, man. Um, Artie, why don't you start us off, man? So, One Piece,
Yeah,
where to start, man?
One
What's
Piece,
going
bro, the
on?
greatest show of all time. I just want to say that first and foremost.
Yes,
I caught
sir.
up. I caught up to One Piece. I want to say like end of Punk Hazard, beginning of Dressrosa. That's when I really caught up to One Piece. Um, this is just amazing. Honestly, great journey. I recently reread it for the first time. I want to say a couple months ago, like 2 3 months ago. I reread the entire story straight through. It took me about 3 weeks to do it, but
First time in general.
yeah, first time rereading it. So it was my second run through. And then yeah, and I always reread arcs. Like at the end of Dressrosa, I reread all of Dressrosa. At the end of Zoe, I reread all of Zoe. that's just a common thing to do, but I never really took the time to just reread through the entire story. So I finally got the chance to do that. Story is astronomical. That's all I could say. It's pure beauty, amazingly written. You know, I love it.
Definitely, bro. AK, how about you, bro?
I
One
would
Piece, where to
most
start?
definitely.
What is it about to you, man? What is it about?
It's more than just the greatest show. It's the most greatest thing I've ever read, honestly. If science was a field, this would be, you know, pretty much a part of that field. So the story, like just like Artenis said, the whole entire storytelling is amazing in itself. You know, it has like a lot of, it has like so many parallels, so many things to our like own like every single day life, and I connect to it such in a sense like I've literally used it as a lifeline in a sense to sort of like keep me up like on day-to-day basis. And I've been keeping up with this thing since I first moved to this country since I was 8 years old. So it's just been really, it's just been really like a very long like story. It's a part of my life and it's a part of everything. It's part of my daily life, weekly life. Read it, watch it, smile at the end of each chapter,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
laugh,
Yes,
talk with my
sir,
friends.
That's definitely something I want to point out as well, dude. It is a part of any true fan of One Piece. It is a part of their daily life.
It's honestly something I could bicker about for hours on end. Honestly, truly.
That's how all three of us are, man. That's how all three of us are. And like I mentioned to y'all before, man, these two right here, they're like if anyone has watched Naruto or any anime with a sensei, man, these two guys right here, they're like Kakashi to me, man. Like I look up to these guys when it comes to talking about this show, learning about this show. Still, even though I've been into the show for a few years now, like I know there's still so much that I need to learn about just the unseen ideas and just parallels and just so many just beautiful things about the way this story is crafted, the meaning of the meaning of the story, and just all of the beautiful things that come with the One Piece story. So for me, I started One Piece in 2000, either 16 or 17, but I really got into it like either 2017 or 2018, and I watched it like in like 2 months. Like I think at that point it was like 700, 800 episodes. I can't remember when, but like when I turned on episode one, I couldn't stop. I went through all the fillers. That's how good it was, bro. I was just like, wow, no show has captivated me the way that this show does. Because, and same thing with the manga. When I picked up chapter one, it was over. I couldn't put my phone down. I couldn't turn off my laptop. It was just like, bro, like it's a story that you just want to keep on reading. And I feel like the consistency of One Piece over 20 years, like that has a lot to do with like why people still want to read it, because not only is it ongoing, but like it's so good and it's still going. Like people still want more. Like AK, you were talking about like both of y'all were talking about it as a part of your daily life, and I just feel like that's just so true because when I think about One Piece and wanting more, I think I want to call it sometimes one more piece because I need more. You know what I'm saying? So like it's crazy, man. One Piece to me, it just means everything that it means. I connect to it in the same way that I think both of y'all connect to it. Like AK, you mentioned about how some of those lessons that you get from One Piece, they cross over and carry over to your real life and everything. I couldn't agree with that more because if y'all are watching this visually, y'all see I'm wearing a shirt, and this shirt has a character on it, and he's the main character of the story. Like Luffy and his ideas, his perspective on life. It just he's a kid, but he's like dumb smart. Like he's just smart because he's dumb, but he's also dumb because he's smart. He just has such an interesting like persona to himself, and the way that he carries himself, even though he has all these complex traits, qualities about himself, even though he has all these different things, overall, the way he carries himself, it just resonates with me so deeply because at the end of the day, he wants to be free and he wants to have fun. And I just couldn't resonate with that more, man, because like both of y'all said, it's a journey and it's a journey that we're still on today. So I'm just so happy that I've been able to read about a guy like Luffy, a crew like the Straw Hats, and just all that good stuff, man. So, hey, man, that's what One Piece means to all of us, y'all. So, if y'all haven't already, y'all gotta at least take some time to think about a story like One Piece, man. It really embodies storytelling. So, we also wanted to talk about why One Piece or how One Piece keeps us inspired. It keeps bringing us back. Even though we dive into it a little bit, what specifically about One Piece brings us back to it and continues to push us to read more, watch more episodes? Because as we mentioned, 1,000 chapters now, 950 or 60 something episodes. How does it keep on bringing us back? AK, why don't we start with you for this one, bro? What keeps on bringing you back, man?
Okay, so there's a lot that keeps bringing me back. And
Hey, that's why we're here. That's why we're here.
And keeps me up for sure. So there's always moments in the storytelling where that just really happened. Like you literally have to ask yourself, and you're just like, that happened. And when you ask yourself that question, you just think to yourself, this, how come I myself can't think this way? Like, or just have this same kind of energy. And then throughout the rest of your week, you will literally have the same kind of energy as the character on the shirt, Luffy. So it's just a sense that it's just a sense that everything about it just makes me just want to live my life the way I want to live my life at the end of the day, right? Freedom. Once again, that's one of the biggest motifs of this show. Yeah. Like, you're not really constrained, right? It's how you view things, really, right? It sounds very, very general, but you'll be so surprised how this show just like makes you want to think like, wow, I'm gonna go F things up. Like, I'm gonna go out, right? You just like how motivational it is. It's just, I myself am gonna get up today and I'm gonna do whatever I told myself I'm gonna do. It's just that simple. Like, it just makes me like think like, wow, like, I don't know. It's amazing. If I were just to go off right now, oh my goodness.
For sure, bro. Like, for me personally, as someone that got into One Piece recently, I mean, I feel like I've been in it forever because like I feel like I've consumed the content over and over again on weeks where we're not getting a chapter, going back and reading old chapters instead, or we had the episode hiatus, went back and watched some old episodes. The story, man, it's just so full of depth. And like for me, as someone that really cares about when I'm talking to other people about life and stuff, I'm someone that really cares about the intangibles, the things that you can't really see. And like those things like are like character, how much you love somebody, how you carry yourself, just all those things that you wouldn't really perceive about somebody at first until you have like a genuine conversation with them. And for One Piece, it reminds me of all these different things, just like you said, in different ways and in unique ways that make me feel like, yo, how come I can't go out there in real life and meet a friend like this? Like, go literally ride and die for somebody. You know what I'm saying? So like when I'm reading One Piece and I'm seeing different things about, oh, how Luffy got this crew member to join, or the story behind getting this crew member to the crew, like I'm just like, yo, this man is literally constantly putting his life on the line, going out there being a dog, just recruiting people, trying to have a fun life and be free, and not be held by the limits of the world that he lives in, whether they have rules or not. He doesn't care. He's gonna go out there and be dumb, be smart, whatever he wants to be in his way. Right. And at the same time, all of that is under the umbrella of Luffy's love, because he loves the journey and he just loves everything that comes with, growing up in his journey. So like One Piece being so great for 20 plus years, I feel like that really embodies why people keep on coming back to it, because it's just like what I said before. People want One Piece as one more piece, you know what I'm saying? Give me one more piece of, this chapter, this episode, give me that, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what it is for me. And I feel like it's really simple, just like what you said, but there's just so much that really drags you into that love and that fandom for One Piece. So Arty, what you think, bro? What's going on?
Yeah, man. I couldn't have said it better than you guys, honestly, because One Piece is just something that really like is a driving force. Like it's not going to be stopped anytime soon. But one of the things that really facts. One of the things that really like compels me to love the story so much is like it's such a big world and what they live in, and you're learning everything about the world with the main character. Like nothing about the world is basically pre-written. Everything that Luffy is learning, the main character, you're learning with him. You learn about the world government when he learns about it. You learn about the Yonkos when he learns about it. You learn about his dad when he learns about his dad. Like it's honestly, it's really captivating how like large the world is, how much information is out there, how much information is not out there. Like it's truly captivating, and I think that's what really draws me is this, the world building behind it, the storytelling, the characters, of course, as well. You can definitely resonate with each character on some on some level. So
Definitely. Like you brought up two things that I'm always thinking about when I'm watching or reading One Piece: the world building and the the characters development, character story slash storytelling, and how all of that combines to just make a beautiful masterpiece in
yeah,
One Piece. Like, oh man, I feel like you also made a good point when you talked about how One Piece presents itself in a way where it gives you so much information, but at the same time, it doesn't give you information. And
yeah,
I feel like that's a big, big reason as to why the One Piece community is just so amazing and different. Because how many shows out there have as many content creators and theorists compared to
yeah,
One Piece? Like you literally see endless people
yeah.
trying to think about, yo,
This is true.
what do you think? Yeah, what do you think is gonna happen next in One Piece? How many series has
And
that
no
kind of
one
build up?
knows. Absolutely no one knows.
That's exactly why the story it just has a different pull to it. And for some reason, people when they talk about One Piece, it's always about the episode length or the amount of episodes, or when if they don't read it, it's about the chapter length or the amount of chapters that exist. So, with all of that in mind, that brings me to our next point of conversation. We want to also just dive into a quick um, conversation about even to this day, even though One Piece is still best selling, a lot of people read it, all of that good stuff. There's still people out there that aren't necessarily um, hateful toward the series or like um, spiteful as fans of other shows and stuff like that. This is not that. We're just going to talk about why, or I mean, we're going to talk about some of the potential reasons as to why people may still sleep on the show, and we're going to try and debunk what people believe is the too many episodes or too many chapters myth myth about One Piece. So um, and yeah, because people they still say that, and I feel like as someone that got into One Piece recently, like that's just way off. So Artie,
Yeah.
why don't you start us off on this one, man? Like what do people still have wrong about One Piece to this day?
Well, here's something that I think. I truly believe that in the argument that it's too long. I think that's valid because a lot of people nowadays they don't really have the time to watch so many episodes. So I think when a person says, "Oh, it's too many episodes," I really think that's valid at the end of the day. Even though they're missing out on the most beautiful story ever, it's still understandable to a degree because at the end of the day, it is. I think they're at 954 episodes right now. 954, 955.
Yeah, something like that.
Each episode is about 22 minutes long. I mean, yeah, you minus the opening, minus the ending. Well, there's no ending. Minus the opening, minus the recap. That's 6 minutes off. So really, you're getting 14 minutes worth of new content every episode, but that still adds up. So like, I really understand it when people say, "Oh, it's too long. I just don't want to get into it." But I've never met anyone that said, "Oh, I don't like the show," and they've watched it all or they're caught up, and they say, "I don't like it." The only One Piece fans that I meet are like hardcore One Piece fans because I've never met just a regular One Piece fan. Like, "Oh
Definitely.
yeah, I've watched the new episode." Like, no, they say, "Oh my god, bro, have you seen the last episode?" Like, they're all for it. So, truthfully, I think if you just took the time to actually watch it or even read it, honestly, I prefer reading over watching the anime by far, 100%. It's much quicker. You actually pay attention to more detail. It's actual good pacing. So yeah, if you actually take the time out of your day to read it, enjoy it, it's a beautiful story.
Definitely. For me, um, I honestly couldn't have said it better. Um, I just feel like people have the the terms a little bit off when they talk about the episodes are too much and there's just too many episodes to catch up on. But my thing is like we live in an age of like super modern technology, and things are just advancing, and people are spending a lot more time um, on their technological devices, and they're spending less time, doing things with their actual body. So I just feel like for me, when people, I don't want to say make excuses, but when people talk about time and not having enough of it, obviously no one's asking you to watch all 900 episodes or read all 1,000 chapters tomorrow or anything. You know what I'm saying? But there's a there's obviously like a grace period when you're trying to try something new and learn about something new and understand something new. And One Piece is kind of like, I feel like One Piece is that show when it comes to animes and manga, because it's like the standout. You know what I'm saying? Like it's there, and you're always gonna have people talking about it because the One Piece community is so vast. You're bound to find somebody that like is gonna tell you about what they feel about why the show is so good still to this day. So I just feel like people, if they really took a deep dive into that conversation about why they feel it's really too long or too much to catch up on, I feel like people could better understand, well, if you watch an episode every single day instead of scrolling through like YouTube videos or like Instagram pics or um, doing whatever you're doing on your phone, you could catch up on the story within a year, 2 years, who knows, as like a side task, not even the main focus. You know what I'm saying? You could take uh, a couple minutes out of your day to read the manga about what it's about 15, 16, 17, 18 pages of content minus the first page, the cover page. So I just feel like people have to define the terms by which they're speaking, because it's not really too much to catch up on. It's about whether you're really trying to watch the show or not. Because in reality, like we've been alive, most of us, at least all of us here, we've been alive as long as the show has been out or longer. So you know what I'm saying? But yeah, AK, what do you think about this, bro? What is wrong with people?
Okay. First of all, I don't blame them because the length is very daunting.
Mm-hmm.
Even I myself, I used to, since I think I was like 12, I used to rewatch every single time, every summer I would rewatch the whole entire anime up to like I think 16 or 17 until like life really got busy, right? So and then I would read it more often rather than rewatch it, right? Because of time saving, like Artenis said, the length is very, very daunting. I do agree, like it doesn't have to be a daily task. It could be something you can do like twice or once a week, right? And the thing is, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Once you start, you'll be captivated. Like I'm not even gonna argue with you because I'm not like the length will not seem as daunting. Like the length seems daunting at first off of like a number perspective.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
But once you really do start getting into the story, you will not care about the length whatsoever.
Yeah.
You will literally start thinking about what's gonna happen next. That's literally it.
Just like anything you go to sleep at 5 a.m. wondering what's going on.
You'll find yourself rushing to work. I'm not telling you to be an addict, but come on, like you might be. Okay, so I'm telling you right now, length is just a matter of perspective in the sense that once you enjoy something, the length is not there anymore. Like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna blame you. It's very daunting, but once you start like actually like rewatching it, like I would even find myself surprised when we watch this. You know how I said we used to rewatch it? I would find myself on a random episode. I watch like random clips sometimes. I'll watch the clip, and mind you, I will look for that episode, and I'll continue off from that episode. And I was like, I need to stop.
Yeah,
because I know where this is gonna lead to a whole rewatch, and not even on purpose. It just happens by accident. Like this will happen by accident. It will not take you effort. I will tell you that right now. It's just how amazing.
Literally, that's literally what happened.
Effortless watching, like it really just is. Like
literally what happened.
It's like you just find you're like, whoa, what did I just do? Did I just watch 30 episodes today?
I'm telling you,
I'm almost done this arc. Let me just finish this arc real quick.
Exactly. Yeah. You want to see what happens to the end. Like you want to see what Luffy and his friends are up to. It's just that simple. You want to think to yourself like, whoa, this is low-key very deep, and I want to understand the reason behind it. That's how amazing of storytelling it is. It's not just a chapter by chapter textbook. No, it's
Thank
It's
you.
storytelling.
Thank
You're
you.
like,
That is a
you'll
great
even have a
analogy.
conversation with yourself. You'll even hit your friend up like, bro, did you know about this? Like, come on,
Yeah.
like, come on.
So
Like,
real.
I'm just like, honestly, truly, it's really amazing. Like, you'll be captivated, honestly, truly.
You made some awesome points, bro. Like just to bounce off of that, like that's basically what I was trying to hit on. Like, um, people have to define the terms by which they're talking about, because if you're talking about too long and you're not someone that's determined to watch or read a story like that, then okay, that's fine. We understand that. But if you're into storytelling, you want to give things a try, and you're able to squeeze in 15, 20 minutes to uh, consume either a chapter, an episode, whatever the case may be, you know, you're gonna be pulled because of the wandering, the cliffhanger-esque nature of this story, where you're always gonna want to know, wow, this is like a very good story. Like, what happens after this? And then by that time you get to like the 1000th, what's gonna happen next? Like you're in, you're in. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
people just have to really understand what they're trying to say to themselves when they say they
Right.
can't really watch or read the story because it's too much. Because in reality, like I mentioned, we've lived for so many days. Who like who's to say you can't do this for the next let's say there's 1,000 chapters, right? For the next 1,000 days, you can at least read half a chapter and then catch up on a lot of this content or whatever the case may be. And then by the time your mind is wandering onto that next plot twist or next major event, you're like, dang, I gotta consume this, man. It's so good. It's so captivating. It's so exciting. Like, it really gets you on your toes. You're like, dang, I want to guess what's happening next. And then, here I am. I'm in that same category, because at first I was like, dang, man, too many episodes, too many chapters. But then as soon as I started trying with genuine effort, the episodes, the length, the amount of the episodes, the amount of chapters
Mm-hmm.
became almost totally irrelevant, literally irrelevant, because the story is what pulled me in, not the amount of time it took for the story to become what it is.
Right.
So that's a very real point. So, but yeah,
Honestly,
yo,
when I was watching it, when I got to the end of Skypia, beginning of Water 7, that's when I really like start to look at it, because at that point it was like around 720, around 700 episodes. And
mhm.
I just looked at myself. I literally remember thinking this. I was like, yo, I am so grateful that
Right.
this show has 700 plus episodes for me to watch, because it was just Skypia just ended. I just saw Enel get defeated. It was just, I
We have spoilers.
start people.
No, 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 bro.
We could talk spoilers, no worries. I mean,
This
but
is to help One Piece, bro.
hey,
This is
bro,
to help One Piece, for sure.
that Enel fight came out in 2005. Like, that's not. Is that really a spoiler?
No.
But yeah, I was just really I remember watching the end of that arc. I was just really grateful. I'm like, yo, thank you so much for having like more episodes for me to feed off of, because I can only imagine. They fought in the sky, bro. Like, where can they go from there? And
Exactly.
they
Agreed.
keep pushing forward, man.
Right.
Literally, bro. And it's
And one
yeah.
oh my apologies. One thing I wanted to add on to what Artenis says. Usually you would watch other shows. You'd be like, oh, I wish this show had more.
Yeah.
Guess what? This show has more. Like,
This show.
that's
I found the show for you.
like, this is the show. This is literally the show for you. Like, literally,
For
like,
real.
oh,
Like,
I really want to know more about this. You will
for
know
real.
more.
I
There's
mean,
so much more to know. It's absolutely wild.
Right.
It's absolutely
like,
wild.
y'all just hit it on the point. Y'all hit it on the head, man. I talked about it. I said the depth of this show is absolutely unreal, man. Like, how many shows do you watch that have an ending, or you wish there was more episodes, just like what you said, AK? Like, how many shows do you have that are like that? And then, particularly for anime lovers and people that love anime, right? And for people
Hunter.
that love this genre of like adventure and action and all this back and forth with world building and character development, all that good stuff, right? Why do you have that idea in your head about, I keep One Piece, it's just too many, it's just too much? No, you're lying to yourself, because once you actually like manifest yourself in the story, you can continue along and walking along that path to truly enjoying One Piece. So I mean, I don't know, man. People be all over the place when they don't really be understanding why they say this is too much. I can't take it. But then they go 360 and watch a show that they are sad about because show ended, too short on episodes, not enough content, and so forth. So that's a very very great point, AK.
Right.
You may I was about to say I think you reminded me of a couple of things, but I mean I feel like we could save that for another time because we could go on about that. Different shows, different audiences, man, but not for sure. So as y'all know, we also want to talk about what's actually happening inside One Piece and just share a couple of our thoughts and what we think is going to happen, what has happened, and just share what we think about it. And so with that, we're going to talk about chapter 999 and reflect on what happened in that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about chapter 1000. And I'm going to talk about a little bit why the timing of this episode was a little bit unfortunate, but it's okay because we're still here sharing the culture, sharing the love of One Piece, and still bringing it to y'all, even though certain things transpired because it's all good. Like things happen. So I'm going to talk about chapter 999, and then we're going to talk about the current arc, which is the Wano arc. We're going to talk about what we think is probably going to go down or not, and just give you our thoughts, our ideas, and our perspectives on it, and then we'll wrap it up at that, and then just share all those amazing One Piece ideas. So starting with chapter 999, AK, why don't you start us off with this one, bro? With everything that with everything that with everything that Oda showed us in chapter 999. Start anywhere, bro.
So with chapter 999, I would just talk about a significance in the story, just like the way he designs his plot, the way he just navigates through his story. So Oda is one of those people who he will show you something directly in your face for the very long period of time, but he won't quite tell you it's there. But then when he reveals it, it's been there the whole entire time in front of your face. That's what chapter 999 basically was. So the significance is basically reveal. Once again, revealing, right? So when something is revealed, it just flies over your head. And to me, I feel like that's what the biggest thing for 999. I don't want to specifically say too much about it because I don't want to spoil it to anyone out there. So I'm gonna leave this onto Artenis a little bit. So Artenis,
I'm 100% okay with spoiling. Yeah, this is chapter 999. No one, if you're just starting One Piece, guys, you're not gonna understand what we're talking about. You'll forget what we're talking about by the time you catch up. So honestly, I think spoilers are fine.
By the chance that you actually do read One Piece, this is where you would stop this episode and go ahead and read it, and then come back to the pod after you've caught up. So.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
sense.
Yeah,
I'm fine with spoilers.
Yeah, go. Yeah, Arty, go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So 999. I think the big takeaway really of this chapter is just the whole flashback. Thing about the fandom really doesn't think that Ace is an important character. They just see him as like a character that needs to be saved. That from my experience in Reddit, on my experience in YouTube comments, on Twitter, they just think of Ace as someone who just needs to be saved. So I think what Oda did with chapter 999 is he really fleshed out his character a little bit more. Like this man Ace, he was only worth, God knows what he was worth. Let's just keep 500 million berries. He was only worth 500 million berries, and he took it upon himself to go take down a Yonko. He already lost to Whitebeard. He knew he wasn't going to win against Kaido, but he just wanted to do it anyways, and that's just the type of character that he is. He's honestly, I think he's beautifully well written. I think the fact that Oda placed him in chapter 999, right before 1000, just goes to show how much Oda really loves Ace and how much he wants the fandom to understand that, Luffy's, after chapter 562, after the big, whatever, LOL, or I think it was 552. I don't remember. I'm sorry. After that big, the big event, what happened with Ace, Ace is really a driving force for Luffy because Luffy's goal is to become the Pirate King. And I think you know, putting Ace at chapter 999 right before 1000 really shows that, hey, this is a reminder to you guys that you know, Ace is always on Luffy's mind and whatnot. So I don't know, I thought it was beautifully well written.
Definitely.
Agree.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't know if I could have said it better, man, because like for me, like obviously for all of us, like I'm more of a newer reader. So like to be able to have the flashback and then really get a dive into like the way that Oda, like what you said, Artie, he really shows his appreciation for his characters, and he reminds his fans of that when he does things like reveals Ace's time in Wano, his promise to go back and take down Kaido and stuff like that. The alignment with putting it in chapter 999, right before freaking chapter 1000. I just feel like it was perfectly placed, and it really just it's just like what we talked about before in the previous part of the conversation. What brings you back to the show? What brings you back to the manga? These are the smallest reasons that I think AKU mentioned. People don't even notice it. It's just thrown out there, and you have to like create that connection, create that parallel in your perspective, and it literally it literally is so mind-boggling when you go back and you take time to appreciate it. You're like, wow, this guy is really meticulously crafting this masterpiece the way that he is, just to constantly remind his fans, like what both of y'all said, just to remind his fans about how much he truly loves this story. He loves his characters, and how much he just loves his fans, man. It's just like we just love to see it, y'all. So I don't know, man. I really want to break down because it was just y'all just hit it on the head for real, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't really have much else to add. Honestly, that's new. I feel like y'all really hit it. It's a reveal, a flashback for me as a new reader. Like to finally see Ace again, it was like, yo, he obviously with what happened, the catastrophe in like I think 560 or 570 something, Artie. Obviously it sucks, but like we know at this point, Ace is like one of Luffy's whys for his journey to the
Yeah.
One Piece, to his freedom, to
Yeah.
his roaming the seas the way that he wants to, his why to creating a pirate crew that will represent the entirety of his journey, stuff like that. So seeing Ace, seeing his interaction with Yamato, very genuine, very awesome. And also for me, like as someone that's like emotional about this story, like the title of 999 was the sake that I brewed to drink with you, bro. I wanted to, I wanted to let it out, man. But it was just so heartfelt and deep, man. So yeah, seeing Ace as young as he was in that stage of his development, where he was like, man, I want to go out and beat all these dudes, man. Like I don't care if I'm weaker or stronger than them, because I know I'm gonna box with them anyway.
Yeah.
He literally just wanted to do his thing because he made a promise. So for me, just to be reminded of Ace's strong-willed heart, his ferocious nature, and obviously his beautiful character when he's around people that he loves, it was very beautiful to see. So um, I'm really happy that Oda lined up chapter 999 the way that he did, because I mean, with what happened in chapter 1000, what more can we really say? So, hey, Kate, were you about to add something?
Actually, I was gonna add on to what Artenis said. Now that you like said what you said, it kind of highlighted something. Like it wasn't just fleshing out Ace in itself. It's also fleshing out Luffy and who he really is, right?
Yeah.
Because Ace and Luffy, they grew up in the same home, same childhood, share a lot of the same morals and everything. So Ace is really a reflection of Luffy, if you really think about it, right?
Facts.
Because the way Ace was so hot-headed, right? Same way Luffy is, and so strong-willed about friends and everything, right?
And
Luffy
reckless.
does the same exact, same recklessness, that same exact
Demeanor.
nature, and that's why we see a certain character cry, because it's a reminder once again that Luffy is,
And
Ace
yeah,
is
he's literally an extension of like
his extension of Ace, right? That's why he's basically that's why everyone is just like, wow,
And another thing that I really want to point about that where you said, he's an extension of Luffy.
Right.
Because if you notice in the chapter, the way he talks about Luffy is he's this guy that's gonna be sailing in a couple years,
Right.
and he's basically gonna wreak havoc across the seas.
Right.
Like you got to think about it, because at this point he's the second division commander for Whitebeard,
Yeah.
and everyone knows that Whitebeard is the closest to becoming the Pirate King at this point in
Right.
time. So for him to 2 years before he even set sail, is it 2 years or a year before he set sail?
2 years. 2 years.
I think-
Two,
Two
I
two
years.
think
years
that's
before
right.
he set, yeah, 2
Yeah.
years before he even set sail, he's like, my little brother he's gonna be the toughest one coming out of the new generation, and he's gonna be so tough that no one's gonna stop him.
Right.
And this is his time under Whitebeard, so you really got to think about like his dream to become the pirate, because he also had the dream to become the next Pirate King and whatnot. But once he fought Whitebeard, he basically gave that up.
Parallel.
What we were shown is that his dream was inputted into Whitebeard, just like how Zoro wants Luffy, the whole crew wants Luffy to be the Pirate King. We took it as he wants Whitebeard to become the Pirate King. But really what chapter 999 showed us is that this man truly believes that he realized that he couldn't do it, but he thinks that Luffy could do it now. Like that's just, it was beautifully written to me because of that. I love that chapter because of it.
You hit it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You hit it right on the head, man. Like I just thought about the parallel because like AK, you continued on the point, man. Like the extension of Luffy, the way that their dreams, they were in alignment. They literally grew up together. They're literally, I think you also said it, they're mirror images of one another. And Artie, you said it as well. Like Ace had his dream inputted into Luffy, and just the way that One Piece has obviously transpired up until this point, Luffy is still going strong and everything like that. But like we all mentioned earlier, like now we understand even more about why Ace is a significant driving force in Luffy being who he is today and being where he is today, because like Ace knew, man, that was his guy, that was his little bro. He's just they just have it's literally in their blood, man. It's in their blood. These
Right.
guys have the blood of some famous, infamous people, whatever y'all want to call them, man. Some important blood. So
Another
yeah,
thing,
y'all.
another thing I definitely want to talk about in that chapter 999 is the reveal at the end. The big.
Oh my goodness, that one.
Yeah,
That one part.
I want to get into it, and
I want
I want to state my one reason for why it's so important.
Go
The
ahead.
reason is
I like this.
we know about awakened fruits. We know that they exist.
Yes.
We don't know what they do fully, but we can infer. Now with paramecias such as Dofi and Katakuri, we know what awakened fruits do. We know that they change the surrounding. They changed the environment. They turned buildings into string, like for Dofi. They turned the mirror world into mochi for Katakuri. We were literally able to see Katakuri make mochi out of thin air, like out of nowhere. That was clearly awakened fruit. It's beautifully written. We can infer that that's also going to be Luffy's awakening as well. Turn buildings into rubber, aka the perfect counter for the quake fruit. I'm just saying. We could also say that an awakened devil fruit for what are they called? Logias is to change the surroundings as well. So as you guys saw there, what was that battle? Aokiji versus
Akainu.
Akainu.
The whole entire setting became.
The whole entire setting. One became a land of volcano. One became
So beautiful. So beautiful.
Basically Antarctica. So we can see that these guys are animals, so for sure they have awakened fruits. So we can infer that they have their awakened fruit also changes the surroundings. So the reveal at the very end of chapter 999, the fish fruit, it basically, what that meant to me is that it's bringing in awakened Zoans, which is something that that's never been hinted at before. So that's why I think it's a great reveal.
That would be a big twist,
Yeah, there was a Reddit theory on the fish fruit. Basically, what it is, it's a koi fish. It's a koi fish that was able to swim up a waterfall, And basically, this god, again, I don't really remember the theory too much, but this god rewarded the koi fish by turning it into a dragon. So
that is good.
yeah,
That is good.
it's an old
That's good.
Chinese theory, and basically that it leads directly into awakened zoans. So if Kaido was able to awaken his fruit, he was able to turn into a dragon. I just think that fits the story perfectly. It just ties everything together.
That does.
Agreed.
And I mean, I just want to say one thing because you made some amazing inferences. I mean, before I get to you, AK, I just want to say like this is also the beauty of One Piece, man. Like the way that Oda, the author, he writes One Piece, man. Like it's based on either some weird things or it goes back to some super ancient historical things that you probably didn't even know a thing about before, but like they exist, and he just connects the dot. I think that's a good connection to say about the way that he writes One Piece. Like there are just so many interesting connections and parallels that you learn about when the story gets to when you get to that point in the story and you're able to see, oh, these guys are the emperors, these guys are the admirals, okay, and then you learn about the specific reasons as to why Oda designed the characters this way, why did he color them this way, why are they in the positions that they are, so and so, man. It's just it makes me cry and it makes me so emotional because it's so genuine. That's what it means to be a storyteller. So like to have that reveal at the very end too, like it was just it was I think Artie, you said it a million times, just captivating, man. Like it was a huge reveal for people to begin thinking about new theories as to what this means and what could happen after this. So
yeah.
So back to what was Artenis was saying. So like the whole entire koi fish, the author gave us subtle hints here and there, like Longhouse saying reveals that are just right in front of your face, and you will never see it. You will never ever see it.
You will never
even
even think about
smallest things, even just the whiskers on Kaido's face.
Yes.
You're like, hold up.
Dude,
the smallest hints
he
will give you. Even the biggest. Matter of fact, he will
his
give
tattoo,
you the whole entire
bro,
thing.
His tattoo is literally a body of a koi fish. It's like that. We even saw the koi fish take up, the kids up to the waterfall.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, yo, what? How did we miss this? Like,
exactly.
It's right in front of our face. And another big thing that big reveal that is absolutely like hilarious to me is in chapter 100. They did a cover spread. And the cover spread for chapter 100 includes Sanji holding a koi fish with horns. Sanji is holding a koi fish with horns. Like,
oh my goodness.
Why do you...
I'm going to have to stop you there because the reason being is because once again, this author is so good that he can not, I wouldn't say he predicts his own story, but he predicts his own story. Like who really does that? Some people just go as they write, right? 100 to 1000, that's 900 chapter difference. How are you gonna just think like that?
Yeah,
that's just ridiculous, honestly. Truly.
Yeah, you make a very good point, but also like I feel like it's just his way of being an artistic mastermind, bro. Like how in the world, like I was literally reading chapter 100 2 days ago, and then like I think 3 days ago, Artie, you sent me that the cover page, and I was like, bro, are you serious? Bro?
I didn't know about that until now. You see, going back, learning more. Like,
it's just like what we've been talking about this entire time. The parallels are just
they're off the charts, man. Literally off the charts. There's so many parallels.
AK, you said it. The smallest hints, you wouldn't have even guessed it. If you take a second more, to dive into like the meaning of what's in front of you, it'll literally come full circle later in the story, and you'll be like, "Wow, I didn't think about it that way."
Something if you want to talk about subtle hints, also, let's see. So in chapter 999, at the very end, Big Mom asks Kaido, "Whatever you could do, whatever you want to the crew, but leave Robin alive." And
I was just gonna get to that.
Kaido replies. He replies with, "What about the three-eyed brat in your crew?"
Family. Yeah.
So basically, when I was rereading, it's something that I noticed was, Pudding wasn't feeling so well during Whole Cake Island at one specific scene, and it was just one line, just one line, and it hit me. And all Big Mom said was, "Oh, did your third eye power awaken?"
I remember that.
And then all Pudding said was like, "No, it's something different." It was just one line, one scene. I completely skipped over it, and then seeing, you know, these people with 3-eye tattoos, this and that, with the, you know, paper over their face and Wano, like you really
You're
start
talking
to
about
think like,
inside
whoa, are they
yeah.
using a devil fruit power to locate Robin and Luffy and all that? Like, what are they using? And then when when Kaido says that, you know, these 3-eyed people, they clearly can read the text of the poneglyphs using that power. Big Mom was, you know, hoping on putting to use that, but you know, her powers haven't awakened since she's only half third eye. So it's just it's honestly something that you just it skips over you until you just again reread the story.
It literally goes
Right,
over your head,
exactly.
man. Like y'all hit it right on the head, man. Like we hit it right on the head because it always goes over the head of the reader sometimes because you're not really meant to see it
Yeah,
until you actually like tell yourself, yo, I actually got to see this and take a second to understand that this story is mad genuine. It's not like I think AK you made the reference earlier. This is not a textbook. It's not a textbook. You're gonna have to read this joint and appreciate it because
yeah,
it wants your appreciation. That's why it's written the way that it is, man. Because I think we've said the word not too much this episode, not too much the conversation, but the foreshadowing and just the subtle hints, man. Like
yeah. Throughout the whole story.
it is throughout the entire story. But yeah, also, Artie, you brought up something that I also wanted to ask y'all about real quick. Just a quick word on this because this is one of my favorite characters, and she has a strong significance in this story. A lot of characters in the story carry a strong significance, but Robin, she's one of the members of the Straw Hats, and I feel like me and you talked about this separately a while back, but that was probably way back to remember what we was talking about. But I was like, bro, at this point we know Robin is the only like main character in the story at this point that is within reach of people that can read the poneglyphs. So how did both of y'all feel about Robin? You know, we're feeling her presence again. We're feeling her significance once again after finishing chapter 999, knowing that people are going to be, I guess the word is targeting. They're going to be looking out for um, her to come out and the Straw Hats to come out. AK, why don't you go first on this, bro?
So when you say that, that recalls something back in the past when Ayukiji says, one of the admirals, he says, you know what's gonna happen if you decide to set sail with these people. You will be targeted and you will fall. It's a warning from, you know, someone higher ups, you know, and Aubin just says, they're my friends, they got my back. It's something that like trusting, you know, that much weight, stuff like that is just like Alex says, like small little things, subtle hints and things like that. We were warned long time ago that this is gonna happen, and now that it's here, we're just like we're still not ready.
I've been waiting for this too.
Like we're still not ready. We're ready, but I'm saying like, wow, this is like, it's actually happening. Like the warnings is actually honing down. Like it's finally like coming here. The things that he's saying, you know, the past, you know, subtle hints. Not even hurt. Like it wasn't even subtle. It was major. It was right in our face. Like this is gonna happen. But when is it gonna happen? Right.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show like now that it's here, it's like how are we gonna react to basically at this point? So
So the way I see the whole situation with Robin is it already happened.
Right.
Where the world government itself went after her, and you know they were able to still get her back. I feel like whatever situation will happen, I still think it's gonna end, you know, with the Straw Hats winning. But
Agreed.
I don't, truthfully, from the bottom of my heart, I really don't want another Save Robin arc. I feel like we already did that. But if you look at the New World versus the you know, post time skip to pre time skip, if you look at that, they have extreme parallels. So, for example, Dressrosa and Alabasta, the exact same thing happened. Whereas Crocodile was, you know, trying to take over a country versus Doflamingo already took over a country. Another arc, Skypia versus Zoe, they're both very adventurous arcs. The other arc, I guess you can say, Wano Kuni. I'm sorry, not Wano Kuni. Whole Cake Island. They try to go get Sanji back. You know, Water 7. They try to go get Ramen back. So basically, they have extreme parallels, but I think the whole going after someone, or going after another person to take their crew member back, I think that's already been completed. I don't think that's something that Oda would do specifically. So I just think that she's going to be targeted on a battlefield, especially for the next war arc, because we know that Blackbeard and Shanks is going to be within the play very big roles in the next war. So I think she will be targeted, but she said it. She said it best herself. She has her crew members to defend her if anything goes wrong. So
that again.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely agree with both of y'all. Hey, did
Exactly.
you want to add something?
I was gonna say what Artenis said was correct. Yeah, she was targeted before in the past, and I mean, like, at this point, I'm saying, like, once again, her friends are even more like capable of protecting her, right? So once again, it's not gonna happen.
More.
No save Robin arc is not gonna happen, right? It's definitely not gonna happen. Just like Artenis said, right?
But we do need. Here's the thing: why
We do need drama, though.
the only reason why I would be okay with a save Robin arc is because we've received a declaration of every crew member. They basically declare that Luffy will be the Pirate King. Every crew member has done it except for Robin. So Usopp, for example, he did it at Whiskey Peak when he was fighting number 4.
Yes.
Let's see, Zoro did it when he gave up his life to Kuma.
Right.
Nami did it twice, once against Cracker, once against
yeah.
I love Nami, top 5 characters. What's another character? Chopper did it in Punk Hazard. Let's see, Brooke did it at his concert.
Right, he did.
Jinbei did it against Big Mom.
Big Mom, correct.
What's his name?
This was epic.
Frankie.
Don't forget Frankie.
Frankie did it against Big Mom.
Big Mom, yeah.
Sanji did it against he did it against Captain Beige. It's absolutely beautiful. And the one character that we're missing is Robin.
Robin,
so I feel like that moment where she'd say it to Blackbeard, I just feel like that would be the most beautiful, probably top 5 moments ever. If it ever happens. But I'm okay with it not happening. I'm okay with her just saying it like at a random event, honestly, kind of like how Chopper did it at Punk Hazard. It wasn't too significant, but it was nice to see at least.
Right. One thing I wanted to kind of ask you guys a question. So knowing that Robin and a few, I guess, other people, I guess, pudding, quote unquote, are some of the only few people that can read the poneglyphs, how would you think the current Yonkos, the current pirates, how, in your mental mindset, how would you think how would they have progressed to become Pirate King? I know this is like off, like, the charts, but just like thinking about it, like, we have Luffy, who coincidentally pulls in Robin, right? One of the main keys to become Pirate King, quote unquote, right? Like, what kind of like thing, like what were the other pirates thinking if they didn't really have this certain key? Like, how could they become essentially Pirate King? Are they going to keep sailing the world, amassing mass weapons and weaponry? I don't know. This is a random question. I just wanted to ask. It's always been on my mind, honestly.
Yeah, not for sure. It's definitely on par. And what did you say? You said when Luffy did what to Robin?
So basically pulling her into the crew somehow, like like, wow, this is something major. He didn't see it like that, obviously, but other people would definitely hop on that, right?
And then you're asking about how this if other pirates like Yonko and stuff like that, other pirates sailing the sea,
like
if they couldn't get their hands on Robin or Pudding.
Right. Like, where's their mental mindset like to become Pirate King? And they do want, One Piece, right? That's like one of the bigger.
Now I see what you're saying. This is a very crazy question. But I mean, for me, based on what I understand about Oda's writing, he would have had to insert something because the poneglyphs are very significant. And I think us four, maybe not. I actually can't remember. I don't know why I can't. I'm pretty sure it was us four. I said us four. Us three. We went to go watch Stampede, which is the One Piece movie, the most recent one. And let me tell y'all, that joint was live. That's all I got to say. And it revealed that it revealed the last island, Laugh Tale, and I think in one of the very last scenes, I don't care about spoilers. like when they finally was able to get their hands on the compass, I think that Bullet was holding on to or something like that, right? Luffy smashed it because he wants, to have an adventure. He wants to be free. He doesn't want people to be controlled by the idea of being a pirate king, to be a ruler of other people. This is why I'm so pulled into Luffy, because that's what it means to be a leader and a preacher of your principles. He really cares so much about, both of y'all mentioned it earlier when we was talking before this. Luffy, he cares so uniquely about his friends. He cares so deeply about his friends. He cares so much about spending time with them on this adventure. He cares so much about creating memories, as in boxing people. And he cares about, finding his way to the top in his way. So, I mean, with all of that in mind, I would just feel other pirates, well, actually, Oda, he would have had to find a way to get pirates to eventually open up the information that exists on the poneglyphs. I honestly don't really have an amazing guess right now, but because that is a very, very superb question. But Arty, what do you think?
So here's where it all stems from. There's pirates that want to be the Pirate King, right? Prime example of a character that wants to be the Pirate King but has no means of actually achieving it is Captain Kidd. Captain Kidd, he has literally the same determination as Luffy, as Conqueror's Haki. He's not up to par with him on strength by any means whatsoever. But, his goal is to eventually become the Pirate King. But at the end of the day, he has no means for it. So I guess a way that you could say that his only way of truly getting a hold or getting to Laugh Tale would be the voice of all things. Is, if you remember, Roger mentioned that he couldn't, not Roger, Rayleigh mentioned that Roger had the voice of all things. He couldn't, he's not on the same level as the librarians of Ohara. So there's absolutely no way for him to truly read it. That's when we didn't know about Odin. That's when we didn't know about the red poneglyphs at all. The only thing that we knew about was the voice of all things. And, during Fishman Island, we find out that Luffy actually has the voice of all things too. So he could hear things speak, where other pirates can't. So I guess you can't really become the Pirate King without having the voice of all things at the end of the day, especially if you don't have someone like Robin or a third eye member on your team. So someone like Kidd, unfortunately, he has to have the voice of all things, and that's something that I see Blackbeard actually having, because Blackbeard is, if you look at the way he's written to be like a sinister Luffy.
Right, exactly.
Literally.
Yeah, he's written exactly like Luffy. He wants to be free. He doesn't want to be tied down. He wants adventure. Like any moment that he has to laugh, he laughs because he's having fun in everything that he's doing. He's just a sinister version of Luffy. So I think him having the voice of all reason to to decode the red poneglyphs, I think that makes perfect sense. I think it's already been stated, voice of all things, multiple characters have it already. So I feel like that's one way for characters who don't have Robin or who don't have third eye members to to complete the journey. That's one way that they could do it. Another thing that I want to point out is that not everyone knows about the red poneglyphs. The only characters that really do are the Yonkos and the Straw Hats. We literally learned about the red poneglyphs during Zoe. I don't think someone like Kidd knows about the red poneglyphs. I don't think someone like Hawkins, Captain Beige, I really don't think any one of them knows about the red poneglyphs. So I just think it all ties down to the connects that you have, as well as the islands that you've been to.
Right.
So I feel like you really, hey, talk about hitting it on the head for real, man. I feel like you really hit it right there. AK, you about to add something?
I was just gonna say, I agree. Honestly, truly, I couldn't disagree whatsoever.
That was perfect, man. That was perfect. Like,
yeah.
It really shows.
Yeah.
The depth that exists in the story, man. Like you
that's
think
truly,
you know something.
Yeah, that's truly something that I would love to see Oda expand on. Yeah, of course, like, Will of D, Inherited Will, I definitely want him to expand on all that. But the voice of all things is something that I really, really would love to see be used more. Because we've seen it on Zoe, we've seen it on Fishman Island, we've seen it in Odin's flashback. Like, I want to see the extent of this power. And what better person to use the extent of this power than the man himself, Blackbeard. By the way, I love Blackbeard. I think he's one of the
I
best
agree. I
I
actually
think
love
he's one of the
Blackbeard.
best characters ever written in
Same,
any show.
agreed. Honestly,
It's
yeah.
amazing. He's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love
Even though I dislike him,
greatly written.
but I like him. He's like a
I'm the
character.
same. I'm the
Just
same. I'm
love,
on the same boat as you, AK.
just love to hate. Like
Nah,
honestly, truly.
I don't have an ounce of hate. I understand he's the reason he died.
I mean,
I'm okay. Truthfully, I'm okay with that because he's so evil. Like this man he planned he's so smart, but it's
This is for the sake of the
all right.
story.
That's
for
one
the sake
thing
of
I
the
was gonna.
story.
That's what I was gonna say. I wouldn't necessarily coin him as evil. That's the thing. I would not coin Blackbeard as evil whatsoever. They're all pirates. They all know the game. Even Luffy doesn't coin Blackbeard as evil. Luffy, at the end of the day, came to terms with Ace's death, saying Ace was a pirate. There's consequences of being a pirate.
Always.
If you can't, if you're not strong enough to choose your own death, you will die, right?
Yeah.
So that's what basically he came to terms with that, right? He came to terms with his brother's death. He does not hate Blackbeard anymore. If he had hated Blackbeard, he would have done what Marco and his crew did, a vengeance. He would have been like, I'm going straight for this dude. But he didn't. He's like, I'm gonna continue on doing what I wanted to do, which is truly freedom. He's not even constrained by his vengeance or his hatred. No, he's just like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna see this man, and it's on sight, but like not because of vengeance though. Like that's basically really
the
like,
sake of the story. Like
honestly, truly.
I know. Yeah, I know that we're bound to meet. I know that we're bound to meet. It's crazy because they had that early parallel, bro. And Luffy and Zoro, they walked by Blackbeard back when they were in where were they again? Where were they again? In the little shop, and then
Bellamy's town,
Bellamy's town when they was boxing Bellamy and like Luffy told Zoro don't swing and then all that good stuff, and then they walked outside and him and Blackbeard had that first like real interaction.
So that moment was so inspirational, honestly. Like
it really was.
He doesn't even know Blackbeard. He doesn't even know Luffy. They don't know each other. And the first thing he said is dreams never die, no matter what age you're in. Like that's just astronomical. That beautiful parallel between the two characters.
Yes.
And this is why y'all hit it on the head, man. Like you mentioned what happened to Ace, and Blackbeard told Luffy during their first real interaction, back when they were in Bellamy Town, he was like, dreams never die. And then Blackbeard's path, he had a big part in one of the significant characters in Luffy's life, leaving the One Piece world. And like you mentioned, AK, Luffy, he's a pirate. These are all pirates in the One Piece world, and they know what they sign up for when they set sail, go find crew members, go seek their freedom, their goals, whatever ambitions that they have.
Yeah.
And oh man, it's just so dang on epic.
Yeah.
But Luffy, he's not held back by his belief for going for revenge or doing things that don't align with his principles of being a pirate, which is being free, having fun, all those good things. So it's just like we've been saying all episodes, all convo along, y'all. The parallels, the details, just the way that Oda connects One Piece from early chapters, middle chapters, the new chapters. It's literally an artistic masterpiece, y'all.
Yeah. Hey, bro, dreams never end, bro. It went from Ace into Luffy. It's just literally, it's just inherited will at the end of the day. They say it best in the story. What was I gonna say? Oh, the evil thing. I want to point out about that too, because at the end of the day, they are every character that we see other than the Marines. Like we see Akainu as the most evil, bloodthirsty, justice hungry, horrible person ever. Like that's who we see him as.
Exactly.
But when you're a citizen in the world of One Piece, you have to understand every day. Let's talk about pre-time skip for a moment. The entire pre-time skip was 4 months from the moment Luffy set sail all the way to Marineford, I think 518 episodes, all of that was within 4 months. So every week you'd see this new guy, this new kid come out of nowhere. Oh, he just took down Crocodile, a warlord of the sea. And a warlord is supposed to be a pirate, like on equal footing with the admirals, basically, because they're like the front runners of the sea. They're pirates who are out there influencing world government's control. He took down one of them. Boom. What's going on? Like, okay, who's this kid? He just came out of nowhere. And then you have the defeat of Moria. It's like, yo, what? Of course, the world government covered that up, but at the end of the day, the world government knows, like, yo, he just defeated another one of our warlords. What is going on? He just wreaked havoc on Eni's lobby. That's one of the 3 pillars of the world government.
Right.
What is going on? He just declared war on the world government. What is going? Like, you read this every day on the newspaper, and the newspaper is painting him as a menace to society. So it's just like everyone in One Piece essentially is evil. Like,
exactly, you can coin it in any way, right?
I feel like when AK, when you brought up like there's a world of pirates. Like it's essentially the strong. Like if you're not strong enough to choose your death, you'll probably be bound to die. So
Right.
like y'all make it really good. Y'all really share some good perspectives and sentiments when it comes to judging or seeing people as evil. So that's why One Piece is so beautiful, the way that it's constructed, man. But yeah. Also, we also wanted to add on just a little bit of our thoughts on the current arc and where we think it's going to go, how we think it's going to finish before we wrap up this conversation. So, I mean, I don't even know where to start, honestly, because it's so beautiful, man. Like I don't even really know where to go. But Artie, why don't you start us off on this one? Like, where do you think this arc is going to go?
So I've been saying this for a while now. Like I talk to my friend Jeremiah all the time about this. This is a theory that I held so true to my heart, and I've been saying this ever since the end of Whole Cake Island. They're going to, of course, they're in Wano right now. They're trying to take down Kaido. I personally think that the new generation, all but Luffy, will take down Kaido. I think Luffy will 1v1 Big Mom. That's my personal belief. I'm praying it happens. Every chapter I see it more like go towards that, Luffy versus Big Mom, while the rest try to take down Kaido. At the end of the day, the reason Big Mom is in Wano is because of Luffy. Luffy is not a man to run away from his actions. Like, he takes responsibility upon himself to do what
he does.
He knows that he's the reason that Big Mom is in Wano. Big Mom has stated it multiple times. I don't care what you're doing in Wano. I want his head. And I think, that's a direct challenge to Luffy. And I think Luffy's going to realize, Luffy's already realized that Big Mom is in Wano because of him. So I think what's going to happen is Luffy is going to 1v1 Big Mom, hopefully defeat her. It would be amazing if he does. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. But again, both times that he's fought Big Mom, the second time, the other time that he fought Kaido, he was extremely hot-headed. The time he fought Big Mom, he didn't have Future Sight. He didn't have Rio. He couldn't go in and out of Gear 4th like the way he wanted to. The same thing with when he fought Kaido. He didn't have Rio. He was hot-headed, so he couldn't use his Future Sight. He was just all over the place. He literally thought his crew had died right there. So he wasn't as calm as he is currently, climbing up the stairs. So the way I think is, again, Big Mom, he's going to 1v1 Big Mom, hopefully take her down. The rest of the new generation, we just have to wait on Apu, and we also have to wait on Hawkins to flip over. But I'm sure they will eventually. Oda will be able to tie that in, and they'll be able to, do some damage to Kaido. And hopefully after Big Mom leaves or, gets taken down, knocked out for a bit, Luffy can join the fight again. It'd be amazing. So that's how I see Wano ending.
Man, like You really put it, man. You put it so beautifully,
That's
man. Like it's
that's my
so
hope. I can't, you know, that's something that I've been wanting to happen for a while.
so meticulous. I mean, since you took care of like the combat and what's going on in past combat, and you took it all the way to the end of Wano's combat, I'm gonna take a different route, and there's a route that you're probably familiar with. I'm gonna go a more simpler route, but a different route. I'm gonna go in terms of like Yano. Oda mentioned it a year ago or 2 years ago when Wano was beginning, right? He mentioned how when this arc is over, it's gonna make Marineford look like it was cute. So for me, I've been hyped about that. Yeah, go
He
ahead.
said he said that about the next arc.
He
Yeah.
said that about the next arc.
Yeah, he did not say that about Wano.
No, not
He
really.
said it wasn't at Jump Fiesta. It was, I think it was the New Year Jump Fiesta that they had last year.
Nah,
Yeah, he said that about the next saga of One Piece, not the current.
Yeah.
not in Wano.
Yeah, no, Wano is not going to be the biggest war that we've
Okay,
seen.
I thought that's what he was saying when he was writing that. But in turn, I'm gonna well, nonetheless, I'm gonna go from the route of people who are not yet in Wano, people
Hmm.
who I believe are gonna make an appearance in Wano. There was a chapter like way back when we had panels of Onigashima, and it was like snowing and it was very cold outside. I talked about this with you way back. I hope, I mean, even if it's not him, I hope it's like some form of the world government or somebody, so that we can really get this party popping. Like um, when you brought that up to me, bro, I was like, man, bro, it really makes you think about all the different possibilities that this story can take. I figured, man, maybe Aokiji can pop him because of now. Like, look at chapter 999. Robin is, has been brought up once again, and people know that um, people are gonna be gunning for Robin and ultimately gunning for the Straw Hats because you're not just going to get Robin. You're gonna have to get past Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, the entire Straw Hat crew, right? I wonder if Aokiji, as we all know, like he's low key a super X factor in this story right now. Like he's supposedly connected to the Blackbeard pirates, but also there's another faction like semi under the world government known as Sword. He may be a part of that too with what's his name, Kobe, Kobe, right?
Hmm.
Along with Drake, perhaps. So we don't really know what his true intentions, motives. What is his plan? We don't know. I hope to learn a little bit more about that toward the end of Wano. I hope he does something epic, not turn heel with his character. Like I want him to remain mysterious, but like the way that Oda writes, he always has an impact character that ultimately pushes the Straw Hats over the arc that they're in. So I just hope that he has some sort of presence in Wano, whether it's impactful for him or at least impactful for like saving Robin, getting the Straw Hats over. I also talked about this with you before, man. Like I really hope to see Blackbeard, even if all the other new generation pirates, everyone comes, that'd be cool. But I really want to see Blackbeard. I really, really, really want to see Blackbeard because it's just been I feel like it's been way too long, man. Like and this war, the Wano war, man, like there's just so many factors. Like you have Drake, he just turned heel recently, and you have guys like Marco coming into back to Straw Hats. I thought about this semi theory back when we weren't at this part yet of One Piece, but remember when I talked to you about like how the Big Mom pirates they kept on struggling to get up to um on Wano period because
Right.
King kept on coming to send them back to where they came from. I don't know, man. I just feel like there's gonna be a moment where we don't where things are happening and Blackbeard, he just some like Blackbeard is one of the most insanely written characters I've ever seen, man. Like this man is like literally broken. This man is literally broken. So I just hope that Oda surprises us in some way and brings Blackbeard to the battlefield, and he either wreaks havoc or he provides just an epic plot twist, whether he fights or not. But ultimately, um, I see the Straw Hats surviving. Hopefully, no one dies, and we're able to acquire whatever we need to out of this arc in order to get out of Wano and complete, this next part of Luffy's dream, which is knocking out the Emperor. So I'm not really too sure where I stand on who he's fighting, who everyone's fighting, because Oda he really mixes it up very beautifully. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of cross fighting and people we're not even we didn't even believe would fight such and such characters. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he just started putting like matches that we didn't foresee and aligning them in a way that we would have just never thought would happen. So I think that's how Wano's going to unfold with the Straw Hats ultimately coming out on top.
I do agree. Agree. The Straw Hats will come out on top. Because the reason being because of the foreshadowing is really immense. So Zoro even told Drake, "It's good that you switch sides. You're on the winning side." So it's just like
the
amount of confidence, the amount of haughtiness, right? Like we're finally ready to take over. You know, the old age. Like it's time for the new people to step up, right? So I wanted to highlight what you guys basically were saying, matchups and stuff. I've noticed recently that Oda has been really unpredictable with matchups, right? But I do believe it's very clear and cut this time around. The amount of foreshadowing, the amount of everything, even the way Luffy even said it himself, "I will take you both on." He said it himself. He said, "I will literally, I'll beat you and him any day of the week. Time, place, tell me right now." I don't necessarily think it's going to be directly like that. Like, our tennis said, and, Alex said, there will be some kind of conflict. And I think the whole entire build-up to it is what, like tennis is saying, like, Big Mom is so mad at Luffy. The reason why he's even there is because of him, right? But also think about it. Kaido is also very mad at Luffy. He ruined his business dealings. He did all this. He hit him in the face.
Yeah.
If anything, you were to really think about it, Kaido was trying to clown Luffy from the very beginning, when they met a long time ago, right? He was trying to say, this kid. Even Big Mom was like, this kid. Now this kid is in your face, right? So it's just like,
yeah.
So it's just, this kid is not so much a kid anymore. Is basically,
a threat.
Basically, he's basically a threat, and that's the whole entire foreshadowing that Oda's been trying to do for us, right? We're on the winning side. This is us. We're all gonna do what we gotta do to do what we have to do, and that's literally it. Honestly, truly, like I don't know how it's gonna unfold, but the winning side will be the Straw Hats. Honestly, truly,
that's the winning side will be the Straw Hats. Honestly, I've seen a lot of people. There's this one YouTuber that I love, Mr. Morch.
Mm-hmm.
He's amazing with theories.
He
he had one theory that he said that Act 3, because we're still in Act 3 at the end of the day. Act 3 has been the longest act of Wano. It's literally 3 times the size of Act 2. It's absolutely wild. But
how many are we finishing with in Wano?
Typical acts in Japanese. I think Japanese playwrights have 5 acts.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5. Yeah.
So everyone assumes that it's gonna be 5. So people, we don't know. Again, at the end of the day, we really don't know. A lot of people think that Act 3, will end in the failure of the raid. So it's, again, at the end of the day, it's a possibility with the way Oda takes routes. That man could be pretty sinister at times. Let's be honest.
Very, very sinister. That's why I can't really say anything, honestly.
Yeah. Something that I want to point out though, with the Blackbeard pirates, they are on the move. He mentioned that guys get the ships ready. He said that a couple chapters ago before Act 3 really began. So personally, I think he's on his way to the Big Mom territory, and I think that he's gonna go get a road poneglyph. And I think this is a perfect time to do so. Big Mom's not there. The only person left to defend is Katakuri and Cracker, and they're both pretty defeated. Like our boy Luffy messed them up big time. So I think they're gonna get the road poneglyph there.
That's a good.
I do think if it's gonna follow the parallel, like Wano and Thriller Bark, Wano and Thriller Bark, they have a lot of parallels. Like the very first time Wano was ever introduced was in Thriller Bark, and it took the whole crew to defeat one enemy. It's gonna take a whole generation to defeat one enemy as well. So we'll see what's gonna go on. But if it keeps the same parallels, then there will be someone that shows up at the very end of Wano, and most likely it'll probably be one of the Blackbeard pirates, probably Kuzan. that we'll see, or you know.
That would be epic if he showed up and then like we got some sense of like confirmation.
That would be, that would definitely be wild.
Exactly.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Finding out more about his mysterious, like, you know, presence, the way he roams, stuff like that. That would be insane.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. But do you guys want to start talking about like the end of One Piece? Like, how do you guys think it'll turn out?
I was gonna say,
if we did that, we'll be here for another couple hours. So
exactly, I agreed. But I wanted to speak on you know, I would like lurking people. One thing that I feel like Oda has been trying to like set a tone for, very subtly and now very majorly, is literally Dr. Vegapunk.
Yeah.
Multiple reasons. You know, what's his name again? The little 8-headed dragon. The reason I don't know his name because I never liked him. Orochi.
Yeah.
So
all my homies
even everybody wants Dr. Vega. I think Dr. Vegapunk is just as valuable as Robin, personally. The only reason he doesn't seem as valuable because he's so highly defended, right? So his value is such that you cannot give this man up, right? He's within the world government's grasp. Orochi wants Dr. Vegapunk, right? He wanted him. Everyone wants his head, his knowledge. The amount of knowledge, I would even argue like he may be, I have no clue, but I did have a sense that he may have a way to like copy, you know, O'Hara writings and stuff. But maybe not now. Maybe he just needs Robin to copy it, you know, just see it one time. That's how knowledgeable he is, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's just, you know, just as smart. He might even be from O'Hara. You never know.
Definitely.
Right?
No, I feel like
he might even be banned from even talking about it.
Right? He might have even been there when O'Hara was destroyed.
Exactly.
He might have gotten the last writings. We don't have no idea.
Exactly.
Dr. Vegapunk. I feel like you just hit on that question that you asked a little bit. Hey,
exactly. I was gonna bring that up earlier. We want to go on too long. So like Dr. Vegapunk is something he's like Oda has been like subtly like, you know, even with Queen, the way Queen talked about
him too. Yeah.
Like
he talked about him. Judge.
Reiterated over and over and over again. It's just, and the whole entire aspect of technology. That's one thing that's being, you know, really highlighted.
Oda shows love to everybody, man.
Right.
Mad scientists, scholars. Come on, man. He shows love.
Yeah.
The diversity of characters, man. It always gets you thinking about what is man got this idea from, man. But the scary thing is they're all valid and they make sense after you taking a deep dive into whatever point of the story you're in. So no, I feel that was an awesome hit on the head right there, man.
That's the thing about One Piece. Like as you mentioned, it Kuzan, he's a X Factor. Dr. Vegapunk, he's an X Factor.
Another X Factor, right?
Kobe is a prime example of an X Factor. Kobe's also Blackbeard is the biggest X Factor of them all. We also didn't even mention that Blackbeard possibly getting a third fruit. That's most likely gonna happen. And at the end, again, you guys mentioned it. Someone's showing up at the end of Wano.
Yeah, it has no choice.
It might be Blackbeard himself trying to obtain that third fruit. We don't know.
Something.
Hey, the way he's written, he's slick, man, and I would love to see it for the sake of the story because that's exactly the lore of One Piece, man. Like, the last thing you would expect to happen, like it happened. Like when I was first watching and reading One Piece, I was like, bro, this man really showed up on the battlefield at Marineford to take this man's fruit, and now he's about to be a force, and that he is. So
man,
definitely looking forward to seeing how it all unfolds. But yeah, y'all. Chapter 1000. The thing about it is, the chapter already has been leaked, and because of that, we weren't really able to dive into specific 1000 content. Rather, we wanted to share what 1000 means to us. So I felt like that was a genuine twist on the conversation, and for the sake of chapter 1000, we wanted to keep this 1000 proof in a way that didn't really, I guess, spill the beans for the sake of this conversation. So we wanted to put a twist on it and just talk about what One Piece means to us in terms of how far it's come, why it's still going, and why, you know, it's growing. Honestly, like I literally just got into One Piece a couple years ago, and it's fantastic. That's all I got to say. But yeah, and talked about where it is right now, chapter 999, now chapter 1000, where we think it's going to go, and I mean, like all of us have said, man, the lure of One Piece is just the ability to just have your mind wandering and wandering and wandering with the limitless ideas and possibilities that exist in this world. So, much love to y'all, man, for sharing all the ideas, man. One last thing that I actually wanted to ask y'all, because this is like my favorite thing about One Piece. Like Luffy wanted to be free, wanted to be a man of his own on the sea. In chapter 999, how did y'all feel about Ace and Yamato's interaction where Yamato was like, she was like all hard eyed. She was like, hearing Ace talk about, like Artie, you mentioned it, the pirates that are going to the sea, and then he mentioned his younger brother. He's about to be a dog on the sea, and then Yamato, she was like, she's basically handcuffed. She's literally handcuffed to being around, staying at home, and all that stuff. And her dream one day is to be free. So I just feel like that straw hat parallel, it really lines up for a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful introduction to the crew one day. So I just wanted to get your perspective real quick on Yamato, Ace, Freedom, Artie.
Anyone who knows me knows I'm the biggest avid supporter for Yamato on the crew. Definitely Yamato over Carrot. I personally love Carrot. She's so adorable. I think she'd fit the crew beautifully. She has a sad backstory with Pedro. And she could be the crew's lookout. Again, Usopp is technically the lookout already, but she played a good role as being a lookout during Whole Cake Island. So I think she would fit the crew really well. And she already has that that dynamic with Chopper. She was hugging Jinbei as well, when Jinbei came back. So I thought, that was definitely beautiful itself. But the thing about Yamato is just Yamato has that connection with Ace. Like she has that subtle connection with Luffy that no one else in the crew has. And I think that's very important. I think Luffy, he loves helping people. We've seen that plenty of times. We've seen that with Vivi. We've seen that with every princess that he's ever interacted with. He loves helping them. So I think if at the end of the arc, if Yamato truly wants to join, I'm pretty sure Luffy won't say no to it.
For me personally, real quick on that very last point, I agree with everything you said. Like the parallel is there, the subtle connection with Luffy. Come on, man. Like I've been saying it the entire time, freedom, fun, like it's your life, like your way of living. Like beautifully said. I just hope that Oda put the beautiful twist on it so that the moment that we know that join the Straw Hats moment is coming, I just hope he puts a beautiful twist on it because I need my heartbeat to go up, man, because the way he be doing it, it's just so beautiful. AK?
Agreed. I believe even if Luffy decides to say no, I do believe in my heart of hearts, Yamato will force her way in. Like there's I feel like it's just like Oda's like, okay, if he says no, she will still be on the crew.
That's One Piece in a nutshell.
Yeah, and another thing that I want to point about at Yamato, she was on the cover of Shonen Jump Weekly. I think it was chapter 993 or 992. Right. She was on the cover of Shonen Jump Weekly. To be on a cover of Shonen Jump Weekly, like another thing I want to point out about chapter 1000 and why it's such a big deal is because it's so hard to maintain your position on Shonen Jump. Shonen Jump is the world's #1 comic distributor. Like there's no other company, not even a US company, that defeats Shonen Jump in terms of sales and like current sales, so to speak. Sales, popularity, it's really hard to maintain your status on Shonen Jump. So for prime example, Naruto. Kishimoto wanted to take Naruto for like 800 chapters. He wanted to be like One Piece status. He wanted to go up to 1,000. Right. They wrapped it up. They were like, yeah, bro, you're losing viewers. This whole Kaguya thing isn't working out. You have 5 chapters to wrap everything up. And so that's what happened. Kishimoto started a whole new series. He started Samurai 8. Samurai 8 only got to 30 chapters before they canceled it on him. Right. Like, you guys got to think about it. That's Kishimoto. That's the creator of Naruto, the creator of Boruto. I don't know if you guys read Boruto manga. It's beautiful, very well written. Like,
it's pretty good.
Oh, wow. Nowadays? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Boruto's always been amazing to me personally.
That's where you lost me always. But yeah,
the manga, not the anime.
Better.
The manga, not the anime. Let's get that.
It's getting better.
But like this is a guy who you can say through 2010 to 2020, you can proudly say Naruto was the #1 show, the #1 manga of all time during that time frame. So for them to do that, to do something like that to, to Kishimoto of his status, it really puts in perspective how far One Piece has gone for them to still continue to still grow in sales and, to reach 1,000 chapters, something that I think only one other manga has reached.
Detective Conan and Hajime no Hippo.
Yeah, they're the
Yeah.
only other shows that have reached 1,000 chapters on Shonen Jump. It's insane, really. But and like I was saying, Yamato was on the cover of one of them and she's only been in the story for like 15
chapters. Yeah, right.
15, 18 chapters. So for her to be to be on the cover of Shonen Jump Weekly is absolutely insane. So I think that just honestly that solidified her spot when I saw that cover.
Agree.
Yeah,
Agree.
Hey, like at that point, that joint ain't even settled, man. We need that.
Yeah.
We need
Right.
that. But yeah,
her attack.
Did you want to add something, AK?
Wow.
I was just agreeing. Like honestly, it's a given at this point. Oda's like, okay, this is one thing I'll give you guys blatantly. Like really, truly.
For sure.
And the crew needs more heavy hitters. Like let's be a little honest there.
Everyone agrees.
Yeah.
Oh no, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, I did a rank. I don't know if you guys saw it. If you follow me on Twitter, you can go through my media. I did a ranking of all the Straw Hats. The crew just needs more heavy hitters, man. I'm so glad that we got Jinbei, but that I personally don't think that's enough, man. I think we need 2 more hitters.
Right. I think Oda even said it himself.
Yeah.
Just showing the whole entire depiction of Nami and Usopp going off to face off some of the the top ranked pirates out there, and we saw what happened. It was like, this is not Alabasta.
Yeah, it's
literally
not.
what he just told us. He's like,
Yeah.
I am not gonna mess with you guys like that. Like,
that's exactly what we expect of their character.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, to solidify like the top end of who's in the crew, who's mainly boxing all the time in the crew, I definitely agree with that for sure. Look forward to seeing how it all unfolds, man. But yeah, y'all, man, this has been hella insane, man. Hella fun. I really appreciate the both of y'all taking time to join me tonight. And not only that, but to feed just such beautiful energy and just such a beautiful conversation into our lives and hopefully other people's lives, man. This conversation was amazing, man. Hopefully when One Piece gets to 11, 12, 13, 1400, we do this thing. We're gonna do this thing again, whatever the case may be. God forbid anything else, happens. Because we did have a scare. Actually, like there's one thing I'm grateful for with One Piece. When Oda was like going through some stuff that was concerning to the One Piece community, everybody was like, "Man, get well, Oda. Get well, Oda. Get well, Oda." Like at that time, because of like with COVID and everything, everyone was just unsure of what was going to happen with the story. But with the man above just trusting what's going on, Oda was able to do his thing, take care of himself, and we're here at 1,000 now. So really much love to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all taking time to join the pod.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us.
Thank you,
for sure, bro. For sure. As always, if y'all took the time to join the pod and y'all made it this far, you probably love one of us, 2 of us, or all 3 of us, or you love One Piece, or you love all of us in conjunction. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all. As always, appreciate anyone that takes time to join the pod. Appreciate anyone that shares the pod with other people. And I really, really hope that, everybody continues to stay safe, man. We're about to head for another calendar flip. And the most important thing right now is that everybody stays safe, enjoy themselves, take care of their families, themselves. And, maybe enjoy some One Piece because, if you're inside and if you're in quarantine, go ahead, open up that story, captivate yourself, man. Have yourself a good time.
Yeah, facts.
But yeah, y'all, for me and my brothers right here, man, till the next episode, hope to catch y'all next time, man. Till then, much love and peace, y'all.
Take care.